were you just trying to soak it in? And what was that game like for you after all the years you've put in here?
Definitely a lot of emotions. I mean, to think I've been in one place for 10 years and to have had the, fond memories that I've had, especially at FedEx Field, it was just kind of wanted to go back and kind of relive some of those moments for a brief moment after the game. And I'm glad I did that because it was, I know I'll think about that moment and reflect on it in the years to come.
Ryan, what is it like? What is the feeling like? Because there's a lot of unknown with you. What are you looking for in the future as you start to think about your future? What do you want? What kind of role, et cetera?
Well, I definitely feel like I still got a lot, a lot of ball in me, a lot of good productive years ahead of me. And so, yeah, I definitely see myself in a big role, making a lot of plays and doing what I've done my career.
Do you want to go back? Could you settle for a backup role like you have this year, or do you want to just go? You want to go somewhere? Do you want to be a starter again?
I mean, I definitely want to be a starter. I mean, I think any player would say that. No, I don't think anybody just wants to settle for being a role player, reserve player. So, I definitely want to be a starter again.
Hey Ryan,
when
you've been here through
on the bench. I saw a picture of you, and I could kind of see that you were crying at the time. I saw a picture of you, and it looked like you were crying. And I know that you just said that you've been here for so long, and this is the team that drafted you. Just what were you about? What was drawing out of you as you're kind of sitting thinking?
You're kind of going in and out.
Go ahead, JP.
I couldn't hear. I couldn't really. It was kind of choppy.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, you've been here for a lot of the down years, and defensively, it seems like this year you guys really turned a corner. How much do you want to be a part of a contending team going forward? And is that how you view Washington?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the pieces that are here, we can contend, and yeah, I mean, that's definitely a factor going forward here, especially as you get later in your career. You want to give yourself a shot at winning, and especially, like you had mentioned, I've been here for, some down years. So, I mean, that's definitely a factor in wanting to and going forward.
Hey, Ryan, how will you balance, I guess, whatever choice you have to make with being with a potential contender versus being able to start again?
Yeah, that's the balance. I mean, I think one of the things in approaching free agency is that I gotta really be open-minded to several factors, and open-minded to all teams, and that's kind of what I plan to do going forward in March.
Hey Ryan, obviously, when you look at this season, you've been a part of some playoff teams before. Is there a difference in things that are being built now here compared to in 12 and 15? Do you feel a difference at the end of the year?
Yeah, I guess yesterday it felt like, how we lost by 8 points, and it didn't really feel like we played great football. And so like that's exciting in a way that, we were that close to beating a team that's, pretty damn good and has, Tom Brady as their quarterback, and we didn't even play particularly well. So, I mean, to think if, had we put our best foot forward, who knows what would have happened yesterday.
Hey, Ryan, obviously, one way or the other, all the pieces won't come back. All the players won't come back for next year. But what's the next step, do you think, for this defense? What's the thing that needs to happen for everything to go to another level?
Starting faster. I think that was the issue in a lot of games, is we put ourselves in a hole, in the first half. In the second half, we'd play great defense, but we'd already dug ourselves too big of a hole. And a lot of times, so it was too much to climb out of. So I think just starting faster and, really, and, maybe in getting out to a lead would have really behooved us a lot this year.
Hey, Ryan, I apologize for the choppiness on my call the last time. What I was asking is, I saw a picture of you sitting on the bench where you were starting to cry, or you were crying. And I was curious, what were the emotion, or what was drawing out those emotions? And what were some of the things that you were thinking about as you were kind of sitting there?
I think a number of things. Just one, thinking about a lot of the good times I've had at FedEx Field. You know, I'm looking at the one end zone, and it's where I scored a touchdown in my first game against the Giants. I'm looking at the other end zone, and a good memory from 18 when forced fumble on Dak Prescott. Preston Smith picked up the scored touchdown. And crowd as loud as I've ever heard it. You know, so just kind of taking those, you know, reflecting on those moments, and then, you know, kind of understanding that, you know, I'm not under contract with Washington for next season. So there seems some, you know, there's like John had mentioned earlier, some unknown in that. So, you know, I think those motions kind of, you know, compiling together, you know, kind of brought me to, you know, made me a little emotional, and but that's good. I was glad I, you know, was able to kind of reflect and, you know, feel those emotions.
What's it like knowing that no matter what happens, you'll leave or stay as the franchise's all-time sack leader? Like, that is your achievement and one of your lasting impacts here.
It's pretty damn cool. I mean, I never would have thought that coming into the league. I mean, you don't know what to expect coming into the league. You think everything's going to go well, and but you're not certain that it is. And so to, you know, have become the all-time sack leader here for a franchise that's been around for a long time, it's pretty cool. And so it's not something I take for granted, not something I take lightly. And I'm really blessed and fortunate to have that.
Ryan, whenever we talk to any of the younger players on the defensive line, they talk so very highly of you. Of course, Chase Young called you a dude. Daron Payne has spoken highly of like your ability to take care of yourself. With the uncertainty about whether you come back or not, what if some of the conversations been like in recent weeks with your teammates, just as there is that unknown present?
We haven't really got into it. You know, it's as teammates or friends or anything. We haven't really discussed it. We've been focused on the season, and you know, there'll be time for us to, you know, pour a drink and reflect on that, and, you know, talk about the future. But although with COVID, maybe not. But you know, we haven't really got into that. But, you know, those dudes. I mean, either way, the D line is in good hands here. I mean, you know, Chase. He's an awesome player. Sweat is going to be hell for years to come. And, you know, Daron Payne, you know, to finish the year like he did was pretty awesome to see. And you know, John Allen was a beast as well. So D-line's in good hands, that's for sure.
We'll take two more for Ryan.
Ryan, do you think about how much longer you want to play, or how far you want to go in this league?
I mean, not from a not specific. You know, I still feel really good, and I think, you know, maybe one of the silver linings with you know, playing a lot less snaps this year was, you know, that my body doesn't really feel too beat up right now. So hopefully that'll help me, you know, maybe add a year or two here on the back end of my career, and allow me to continue to play at a high level and play even longer at a high level.
Hey, Ryan, you've played with a lot of different defensive coordinators over the years and D-line coaches. Now that the season's over, what do you look back as the impact that Jack Del Rio and for you guys on the position Sam Mills had for you guys over the course of the year that was maybe different than some other things you've experienced?
I think the scheme is good. I mean, it allows the, you know, linebackers get downhill and be physical, allows the, you know, guys up front to come off the ball and penetrate and get in the opponent's backfield. And I think it plays to a lot of guys' strengths. And so I think not only the players but the scheme really, you know, meshed well together.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you,
Good luck.
guys. I mean,
Thanks, Ryan, for everything.
I want to take a moment to thank you guys. I don't know, obviously with the unknown of the future, I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen, but no, you guys are always fair and good to me. And so I appreciate you guys.